Opacity masks are a little hidden gem in Adobe Illustrator. Today we're going to talk about them. For example, I can take these objects, go to my transparency palette, click Make Mask, click on this, paste something into that mask, and I can distress this based on adjusting that mask. If I were to take this and put something behind it, and throw that to the back, you'd see that it has been distressed. Now, I'm going to show you how I did that in Photoshop, and then we will go, and I would like to show you how to create something along these lines, where we have a kind of a monochromatic situation like in a screen print, or something like that, where you can still get some texture. So let's get started. So first I want to talk about some basics about masks. They are found in your transparency panel, and if you can't find that, go to Window, Transparency, and it'll pull it up, and then you click Make Mask. Now the first thing it's going to do is it's going to look like it disappears. You can just uncheck Clip over here. But you'll notice that you have a little orange or different colored thing when I'm around my object or my group. When I click on my mask, then I can create objects inside of this mask. So if I'm out here and I create a gradient, let's say I go like this, okay, and I change that to a black and white gradient, okay. Now I can put this like this, but if I put this if I put this inside the mask, let me show you what it's going to do. So I'm going to copy this onto my clipboard, select this object, go to Transparency, click on my mask, and copy it into the mask. Now what it does, okay, is where there is black, it hides, and where there is white, it shows, unless I invert that, and then it does the opposite, okay? So if I do something along these lines, then I can adjust where that is. I can also add additional shapes. Let's just make that white. I can add additional shapes, but because it has a black stroke, it's going to show through, right? So I can increase this like that, and it's just going to show what's going on, okay? Now if I grab this and delete them, then I can come over to Photoshop, okay? And let's say I have like an image like this. I can come in, I can do a threshold adjustment. There we go, threshold adjustment, okay? And slide this to wherever you want it. You know, give yourself lots of white. We'll go kind of about like that. Okay, and then I can click both of these. Command Alt Shift E will give me this layer. Command A gives me select all. Command C copies that to my clipboard. I come back over here, black arrow tool. Let's go to Transparency. I'm on my mask, copy and paste it in, and that distresses that layer. So this is helpful if you want it to look like it's on a t-shirt or something along those lines. I get back out of my mask, I can take this and I can put it on anything and it will look distressed. It's also very helpful in a situation where you are adding texture, or if you want to do halftones or something and you have kind of a complex shape that wouldn't make sense to use a mask. So let's do that now. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click on this and this. Going to blend that, object, blend options. Let's do specified steps and let's try 10. Okay, I think I want more than that, so I'm going to go with 15. 15 is looking pretty good. Okay, then I'm going to grab this outside edge and I want this to just be a little bit thicker. I grab the inside edge, make that just a ton thinner. Okay, so now we have kind of that radiated look, but I still want it to adjust. So I'm going to grab this whole shape and I'm going to go to my transparency panel, I'm going to click Make Mask, get rid of Clip for now, click on my mask, okay, and then I already have this prepared. I'm going to grab these guys. I got locked them. sorry, grab these guys, copy them to my clipboard, select this, go to my mask, paste, then I can move them over. Okay, let's zoom back in so we can see what's going on. Now you'll notice that where there is black, it disappears. It masks it, it hides it, right? So I can grab these and I can move them over, I can shrink them down, okay? So that's one way of doing it. Okay, you can see that that's kind of like that. You can make anything in here. Another thing, and this is a little bit more interesting, is if you have done an effect on something. So I'm going to get back out of this, click on this guy, copy him to my clipboard. Okay, come back over here, paste. This can be a heavy processing situation, so it can be pretty intense. Okay, and I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Now I can also choose clip. And clip means anywhere where there isn't a shape, it's going to not show up. Okay, so I can get an effect like that. Now, because this is a gradient mesh map, which you don't need to worry about if you don't know what that is, I can increase and decrease those. It'll take a minute, and it'll bring things back. So I can get kind of that effect going on. Let's try that again. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. And sometimes you get trapped in this mask. Make sure you click out of there. You can also try invert and see what happens with invert. Okay, so it'll just invert what you have. Okay, I'm going to get back out of there, so I'm back in normal space. Click on this guy and this guy. Command-Alt-B for blend. Object, blend, blend options. Smooth color to specified steps. I'm going to try 20 this time. See what 20 looks like. Okay, 20 is a little intense, so I'm going to knock this down to 10. Okay, 10's pretty good. But this time I'm going to click on this outside edge, and I'm going to use my width tool. And I just want this outer edge to be just a little bit bigger, like that. Okay, that's cool. Nice effect there. Okay, so now that I have that, I can come up here, and I'm going to make some adjustments to this guy. I'm going to make this a gray. I'm going to make this almost white. Any way you want. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to come back over here, click on this guy, get out my transparency, click Make Mask, click on my mask, paste by pressing Command V. Wait a moment as it chokes on that command. Okay, make some adjustments, move this around, resize it. I'm going to move this over this way as well. Have this come all the way up. All right. So now that I have that, I can just come in here and I can just make some little tweaks. I'm going to get out of this space by clicking on the normal space again. Click on this guy, copy, paste in front. I'm just going to give these just a little bit of an edge. Okay, copy, paste in front. And copy, paste in front. There we go. So now we have a nice textured environment. And at any point in time, let's say I wanted to distress this entire thing. I can grab this like this, group it, make mask, get rid of clip for a moment. I'm going to come back over here. Let's say I want a different distressing situation, so I will double click back on my threshold. And I want a lot more white. I really just want it in the edges. Okay, and then I can Command-Alt-Shift-E And then I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to paint a little bit. I just want, I don't want blue, I want white. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to paint white here in the middle, because I don't want it distressed here in the middle. So I'm just going to kind of give it just some edges. Okay, and once I have that the way I want it, copy, shift back over here, make sure I'm on my mask, paste it in, and then I can adjust it so that it's just kind of messing with the edges and looks vintage. It's a little too much, still a little too much. So I can kind of pull that out until I like it. Okay, there you have a textured, vintage, single color situation. And remember, the way that you do this is you take an object. Got to get out of here. I keep doing that. Take an object, make it colored. Okay. On your transparency panel, make mask, click on your mask, and paste something in. And where it is black, it will hide, and where it is white, it will show. Okay, if you'd like to learn more about Illustrator, make sure to click on my channel and go to my vector graphics playlist, or you can click right down here at the bottom of the screen. I assume I'm pointing at some kind of button. Also, follow me on Twitter. And if you didn't quite understand how I was doing the blending, then you can watch the blending video over here as well, which could be helpful.